welcome to Granny Lisa. Vets chatting with me. I am so excited today because I have a partner in crime, a partner that I have not ever met. We've only talked in text, and her name is Yesenia. I think I said it right. And she is here to talk about her military experience and what she's doing now. Plus, this is my connection with her. She is one of the 12 that wrote Leave No Veteran Behind. And so I'm excited because I have no idea what she's wrote about. I don't know, maybe we can get a couple of secrets out of her. We're going to try. So go ahead, Yesenia, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me, Granny.
I'm so
Appreciate
glad
that.
you're. So go ahead and let's start with, tell us your name, where you're from, some
Mhm.
basic information.
Yeah, well, my name is Yesenia Vazquez. I am originally from Luquillo, Puerto Rico, and I came to the U.S. at 11 years old. Joined the Air Force. Was in the Air Force 10 years, active duty. Uh, I was I had the privilege to fly on vice president plane mission around the world and serve our country. And now I have two businesses. One of them is I do a lot of real estate development things, development projects, and also I have a practice where I coach and I utilize neuroscience for entrepreneurs and business owners and regular people that are either just wanting to scale their business or also have like career goals that they want to reach and
Mhm.
also emotional things that they want to let go of that's keeping them from their goals. So
Oh, cool. All
yeah.
right. Well, I have already a lot of questions. Now, when you were in the Air Force, and I think I've heard just a little bit of your assignment, but were you like a stewardess on the
Yep.
plane? Oh
Hmm.
my goodness gracious. So
Yeah.
you served under which vice president?
Cheney.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So you had to learn about all the things that he liked and did not like, what he expected when he went and flew, and did his family and wife go with him on some of these, you know, diplomatic
Yeah,
flights?
we had many different diplomatic people that would fly with us, uh, and yes, depending on who they were, the spouses, um, sometimes kids, but not often. Not often
Mhm.
uh, would uh, would be on board, and yeah.
That is so cool. Um, yeah, because Peggy, she also worked, I think, after she was in the Air Force too, and she did
Nice.
something with airplanes, but she did something after getting out of the Air Force and taking care of high profile people, like designing their plane and all of
Oh,
that stuff.
awesome.
So it has to be something in the Air Force that you gals just get these great jobs. It's like, ooh, okay. I mean, not that it was an easy job. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying great jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it
Because you had,
definitely wasn't easy.
oh, yeah, and then, but you got to travel and see all the different areas, and that's wonderful. Now, when you were talking about your businesses,
Hmm.
when you got out of the Air Force, did you have a hard time transitioning out? Because did you go in right away after high school?
No. I went into 2 years after, and then I was in for 10 years. So yes, transitioning, being out in the civilian world, it 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 sometimes kind of still is difficult at
Mm-hmm.
times, but the difficulty is really on, I was used to working in a very high performing environment,
Right.
due to the mission that we did. So it's kind of not that way in the civilian world.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yes.
So coming from a very high performing environment to not a high performing environment, it can definitely bring up some, I guess, I don't know, not fun things.
Right. So did you experience like, um, well, not depression, but I mean, if you did, that's fine, but almost like it was a different world and you were speaking one language and they had a whole different language. So you basically had to slow yourself down
Hmm.
and you're questioning why can't these people get things done? This is how you could do it. Organize it this way.
Hop,
Dun,
skip,
dun,
and a
dun.
jump.
Yes. Why can't we get from here to there and be done and move on to the next one, right?
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's with, I can see with that being a type A personality that is under high stress, on the go, and high performance is expected. And
Mhm.
yeah, I can see where the transition, having to slow down, understanding the civilian world's language and
Mhm.
expectations. And I don't know, were you considered a threat to the civilian jobs because as a female, high performance, um, I'm sure some of the men and women were a little intimidated by your work ethic.
Yes, definitely experienced some things where, like looking back now, it it definitely was a sense of, I guess, AKA threat to their like, I guess, a mindset that
Yes.
they had of a threat to their success or for them to shine or for them to, like, I don't know, be be the boss or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
that happening because of how you are as a performer, your personality, and your goals.
Hmm.
Okay, and so when you decided to
Those
start,
things you think that are welcome, those things that you think that are like they want you to be that way,
mm-hmm,
or like even if you're working on a team, you you get out of the military and in your mind, for you as an asset, you're an asset, to be able to have those characteristics. And it's been kind of, I mean, it's still sometimes, it's a different em- embrace of it that, like, someone, they either embrace it or they don't. And,
right,
you know, it's still kind of weird for me, actually. It's like, let's
right,
just
because
get
it
things
doesn't make
done.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. Now, when you decided to go out on your own, did you start off doing a real estate agent, or did you just say, I'm
No.
going for it and let's start my own business?
So I was doing real estate kind of like as a side hustle while I was in the military. Um, it's more like real estate, investment projects, not really an agent.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing that on the side, like a lot of like remodeling, things like that. And then I did that for a while. Even when I got out, I still did it on the side. And then when I decided to leave the corporate world, is when I went fully on my company, which is Blue Coastal Homes. It's a real estate solutions company. And I've been doing that full time since. And in 2020, so before 2020, I was coaching for a national company and helping people do the same thing that I do.
Oh,
And then before 2020, I was like, oh, I want to do my own thing. I'm thinking like, because I wanted to be able to give more to the students, to the clients. So, and then 2020 happened, March 2020 happened, right? We all know what happened in March of 2020.
yeah.
And then that's when I was like, you know what? I got to do this. I have to do this now. So that's when Yespreneur came out and like flourished. And for the past 3 years, I've had what I call proof of concept
Oh, okay.
of what I do in coaching. I apologize. That's my dog. I'm the only one here.
That's okay. I understand. I have dogs. We all have dogs. Mine is the
So
same way.
I apologize.
Oh, you know what? Listen,
So,
mine do the same thing. It doesn't bother me. So don't even think about it anymore, okay?
okay.
Seriously, it's not a
So,
big deal.
so proof of concept the past 3 years, and really helping people elevate their beliefs, their beliefs among like for themselves, right?
Hmm.
Specifically in business, and helping them through those challenges. And I wanted to like connect with veterans because I had a thought, like, I know that when I got out, I was fine for a while, and then I went through this weird phase where, like, I was waking up underneath my dining table, like I was crawling in the floor. It was the weirdest stuff, and I had like it was basically PTSD going through.
Right,
It's a lot to mention right now, but
right,
I went through some experiences and it made me realize, oh my gosh, like it's been, it was years later,
right. But it still
and
happens.
it was years later. And so I had to go through, I went to the VA and got just help with that for a while.
Oh, good.
And then, which is what made me realize, like, oh, this is something that I eventually could possibly, if I connect with other veterans, it could possibly also help veterans, because sometimes we don't know when things are going to come up, specifically like with PTSD, any kind of things,
Exactly.
and all that. So
Yep.
it was just like, it was just through life, right? Like all that came together, like that happened, that occurred. And that's how, I don't know, somehow the whole Leave No Veteran Behind opportunity came. And I was like, well, maybe I'm supposed to do this. Maybe the universe, God, whatever you believe in,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like, oh, I'll do this. I'll connect with other veterans. Maybe this is one of those things that will lead me to eventually be able to give back through the coaching services and the just the the process that I utilize for that.
Right. Now, did you use the female veterans business loan through the VA to get started?
No, you know what, Granny? I've never done anything with any kind of benefits or anything like that. I've tried. I haven't had much of any help uh, from people that I've tried to get help with. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know why they make it so hard. It's
Oh, they
like,
do. It
uh,
does. It takes time. But I have a gentleman that I will hook you up with, and he is my guru of benefits. And I'm sure because there are benefits that the VA does not talk about openly, but it's there for us to use and to apply for. And so there may be things that you need with your business as a female and as a veteran that you can get assistance with. So we'll connect with that. I just wanted to, I
awesome.
ask a lot of questions because I like to know if the veterans, one, are using their benefits that are there for them, and then if you have, I would ask for you to share how you did it. So when you decided to, because I think it's really fascinating on how you created this opportunity to not only grow your business, but to grow other people's business. And so that's got to be a lot of details and planning. And so do you have help or do you do it all on your own?
Um, right now, so for the proof of concept, yes, I've been doing it myself because uh, I'm certified in timeline therapy, hypnosis, um, and neurolinguistic programming. So it's it's something, you know, when you're utilizing these techniques to help someone to, like, I guess, release trauma stuff, release emotions that they don't even know they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's keeping them. So it crosses, how do you say it in English? It crosses over to all areas of our lives, right? But
Right.
we don't really know it. No one really taught us this. Nobody really explained that
Mm-mm.
these things are real, right? And so when it comes to business owners, which that's where my heart is, right? Because I'm a
Right.
patriot and I want thriving small businesses and giving back to them. It it's helped them going back to things that in their life they've never let go of. I saw in the last 3 years, I've seen that by going back and like working on that, it has helped them to elevate and reach other levels in their business,
Mm-hmm.
monetary, new clients, just being a better leader, you know, being able to communicate better, even in relationships, personal relationships, being able to communicate with their significant other, whether it's a husband or wife or kids. So it's like, wow, this is amazing, you know.
Right.
So it's still this coming year, 2024. My plan is to have to bring in at least 3 coaches that will be Yespreneur coaches that I will train and show them and be a part of, be a coach for part of Yespreneur for the clients. So it's not, it's like whether if you don't have a business right now, but you want to, and also if you're already a business owner, you have success, but like you're going through stuff, like
Right,
events happen, right? Things happen, maybe like income loss or issues with
health,
keeping employees. Like
right,
there's so many different things. So I don't know. I hope that I really believe is my heart centered passion business.
right,
Real estate is fun. I love real estate also, but when we're dealing with people's lives and their soul and their happiness and people falling in love with what they really want to be doing in life, like
right,
that's long term. You know what I
right.
mean? Like that's generational, like change
Yeah.
in families. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I do. I do because I'm experiencing that myself with uh, I think it's called EDMR or EMDR, something like that, and it's with the rapid eye movement on
okay.
dealing with the past traumas and triggers.
Oh,
So yeah, yeah, I do
awesome.
understand. Now, I want to know, I know you said you really want to work with veterans and helping them achieve their goals and narrow it down for them. So when you decided to be part of Leave No Veteran Behind, our assignment was to one share our story and then three of our superpowers. When you shared your story, um, did you have to really dig deep? Or, and here we go. Here's the book cover for anybody that's watching. This is Leave No
Mhm.
Veteran Behind. And down here is the PayPal that you can hit onto. And that's going straight to her for her sales on how they keep track of us all, because there's 12 of us. So that's her link to go and purchase this book. I'm telling you, I have no idea what anybody else has wrote, but I certainly do know the people that are now interviewing with me and getting a feel for who they are. And I'm really excited just for myself to see what they've wrote, what they shared. And so please, if you have a chance, go on the link and purchase Leave No Veteran Behind. And this will go straight to her. And so please go ahead and can you share how the process was for you? I've never written a book. Have you?
Um, I've been like in the process of writing a book. So for me, it was more of like, okay, if I had anything to say to any veteran out there on going from the military and transitioning and being what I believe is our new American dream, to be in business, to be an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like, what do I want to tell them? And that's the that's where I put it all together from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that we are capable of so much. Being in the military technically really equips us to be able to, you know, uh, break through any fear, right?
Yeah,
It did for me.
yeah,
So that's what I wrote. Like, okay, my process in my life, how did it happen? What helped me the most? What helped me to Like, I mean, I left a 6-figure job.
Right. So you had,
You know?
there's fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, but I would.
Yeah. I
That's a
mean,
huge step.
so what helped me through that? What helped me through maneuvering a new like way of doing things because you're creating your own income, you're creating your own, like, you got to be disciplined,
Right.
more than disciplined that you were in the military, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the
So
thing is that you have to create from the bottom up, which
yeah.
means marketing. You got to figure out exactly how you want to sell it. How are you going to keep it going? I mean, there's a lot of planning. So, did you get help from the small business, or did you already kind of know how to do the planning steps?
No,
Your
I
plan,
did.
marketing plan.
No, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was just doing. I made a decision. I was like, I'm going for this. However it turns out, God, you got my back, you know?
You're the one that
Like,
jumps out of the plane not knowing, well, I just pull this thing and I'll be fine.
yeah, I mean, I don't recommend that, but that's how I did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh, yes,
So,
just a bit. Yeah. I can't
uh,
hear you. No
You
sound,
said you
Peggy.
jumped out of planes. I was a rigger for some of my time in the Air Force. I was appreciating the comment.
Oh.
oh, awesome, awesome.
Yeah. She used to work on, I can't remember. What was it you put together the stuff for them to jump out, or
I was in survival equipment, so we did the parachute rigging,
Oh,
all the
cool.
survival equipment in the aircraft, the face
Yeah.
mask, helmets, all the life preservers, anything that you needed if the aircraft went down in survival. And before that, I was security forces, which was military police.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. And then she worked for high profile people with their personal planes.
I worked in upholstery. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she did. Can I say
That's
it?
cool.
What?
Can I say who you did a plane for? Or is that secretive? Well, let's say
I'm
she did
not
a
supposed
high
to.
profile personality and who's very particular. And she was very successful at doing that and pleasing that certain client. Yeah, yeah, too
Nice.
bad. I want to say so bad, but I won't because, the privacy thing. We got it.
Ready. I'll let y'all get back to it.
So you jumped out of the plane literally with your, life jacket and, the parachute.
Yeah.
And on your way down, you were screaming and like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah. So small business, they help a little bit, little by little throughout the years, like connecting, uh, like learning from uh, just learning from even books, going to small business, seeing what it is that they can actually understanding from their point of view, like what a business owner, like
Mm-hmm.
business planning, yearly planning, things like that, financials, things like that. What does it mean to really be, a beginner, like the stages of business? What does that really mean? What kind of
Right.
business do you have? As a services product, what is it? Like really understanding business. So, and that just comes from trial and error,
Yeah.
time, and not giving up. Like
Right.
you just don't give up. So, you know,
Oh, okay. That's cool. Um, so when you did the book, there was some other things like that Daniel had asked us to come up with 3 of our superpowers. I personally, it took me almost a month to figure out my 3 superpowers. Nobody's ever asked me that, and I come from a different generation that you don't really focus on your stuff, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like you're bragging, and when it's really not. So you're younger than I am. You're up and coming, How did you deal with your 3 superpowers? You don't have to tell me what they are. Just
Mhm.
how did you deal with doing that?
Um, I assessed like what I really enjoy to do, what I'm good at. Um, that's always been a part of me,
Right.
not just as an adult, but since like little. Um, you know, um, I mean, I'll tell you what they are. Do you want me to tell you?
No, it's a secret.
Okay.
I don't think we're
I was
supposed
about to tell
to.
you.
I see how you are. You're one that can't keep secrets. I'm having to do your job. Okay. Yeah, I could see Daniel getting on the phone saying, Lisa, you got the secrets out of her. I had to say, she wanted to tell me. She really wanted to tell me. No,
Funny.
I mean, but the process wasn't too hard for you to do.
Um, no, I think like I mean I did have some like it took me like a few weeks to really narrow things down. But
Yeah.
then when I narrowed it down, like, oh okay, yeah, this is this feels good. This is it. So
Peggy, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am, I do. We have people wondering how would they reach out to you if they'd like to hire you to help them with their business? Do you have a website that they could look at you up and or a number or how would they find you?
yeah, it's more I have like I'm in social media, right? Um, so like my whole name, and then Yespreneur is really the business that funnels all the training for the business and things like that. And I mean, I'm okay with giving my number. I don't mind. Or my email is my first name, Yesenia,
Hmm.
my last name, Vasquez, 76 at gmail.com. It'll go directly to me or message me through social media.
Okay. So
Yeah.
is this correct?
Yeah, that's me.
With the Rosa at the end?
Yep. Hmm.
Awesome. Okay. And you don't necessarily do private clients. You do a show or what is that called? A presentation, and several people come to it, and then you go
I do
through.
both.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, I do both. I do one-on-ones, I do groups, I do workshops. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, because that did answer one of our guests. And I know personally that he has been struggling to get his ideas in row and pursue having his own business. And Peggy,
So
what is his nationality? I can't remember.
I'm not going to assume he told me honestly earlier, and because I don't pay attention, I do pay attention, but I don't see anybody as different from another, so I don't
I
take
know,
that
I
as
know.
my save and file box. So
Okay. Hey, the creator, what nationality are you? I only know because he speaks uh, with a different type of accent. And so I don't want to assume.
hmm.
Oh, he says, oh, can't send a friend request, sad face. Um, Creator, what is your nationality?
Just tell them to DM me or message me,
DM her or messenger her
or on Instagram
on
also.
Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out for you. Oh, well, he's
So,
taking his time, but
so
anyway, I mean, he has the English, he talks English, it's just different. Um, so I was wondering if, did you do different languages such as Spanish or,
Spanish, yeah.
okay, all right.
Um,
So,
so one of the things I want to clarify, so it goes through, the first thing we do is have full clarity on the vision, right? So
mm-hmm,
clarity, vision, and strategies is the main like process, right? Like, what do they really want? You know, what do they really see in their business? What is it that they, how are they wanting to show up in this world, right? What kind of leader are they wanting to show up as? What kind of career is it that they want to do? You know, if it's not entrepreneurship, and he said he's a mutt breed.
yeah, he says I'm Mayan, Aztec, Inca,
Oh, okay.
mostly,
Oh,
uh,
cool.
yeah, 24% Italian and 22% Mexican.
There you go. Nice.
So
Awesome.
does that mean you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He is such a sweetheart. So he's my biggest fan.
Thought I was. No, I'm just kidding.
I just think this is so fascinating because um, there's such a need with people to have that step by step and be able to ask the questions. I see these things on TV. I'm sure you've seen them. And I'm like, okay, that just totally went over my head. I can't ask him questions. And it's really difficult if you have this whole bunch of books sent to you and you still can't get your questions asked. And I just kind of go, well, that's not going to help. So it's really interesting that you've created a place for people, small businesses to achieve more,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and especially with their neuroscience. That's just fascinating. I mean, who would have thought of that? How did you come up with that?
Um, I can't explain it. It's just something that I was for many years just looking for that thing that would set me apart in my coaching,
Hmm.
and then through just different things that I utilize for myself, right? To be
Hmm.
a better leader, a better daughter, a better, friend, a better
Right.
girlfriend. Just the person that I want to show up as in the world as the best version of myself. Just going through that journey,
Yeah,
um, because if you're not self developing, you're not growing.
that's
So
true.
it came through all my trials and tribulations, really.
Yeah. I'm going to put this back up here. And the creator, that's my friend, it says, do you help autistic and Asperger people? I struggle with my small business and have these diagnoses.
I
So
see.
do you help people that may have disabilities and how to at least come up with maybe a working plan? Or, do you
Hmm.
do like an individual? Well,
It
yeah,
would be
you do an
we would
individual.
we would have to do a discovery call to see like what the need is for the individual,
Yeah.
and what they're trying to create. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that would be pretty much on anybody.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that name too. Discovery call. I want to have that name too. I want to, Peggy, I want my people to know that we have to have a discovery, you know, text and calls. Okay? All right. Oh, I can't hear you, hon. You got your sound off.
I'll work on it, Granny. We have the mess calls once a month. This
I
Saturday at
know.
noon Central Standard Time, as a matter of fact, for an hour.
Oh, that's right. That's something, if you're looking to help just people, but more likely veterans, we're doing a mess call, and that is, Peggy, you better explain your vision of this because
Okay.
I'll just get it all mixed up.
So we all were in the military and we all went to the dining facility or mess hall, as we called it, or the chow hall, as we called it, right? When basic, we weren't allowed to talk. We had to sit there and eat. So after basic, everybody chowed down and talked. Everybody talked at the chow hall. So I figured, you know what? Everybody needs a once a month support group call to where veterans can come together and connect again, first responders across all fields. A place for everybody to come together that's been in the career fields that have the stress and need to talk can come together, have a support group to where we all share, we all talk, and we all figure out stuff together.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've sent a request to the VA to ask them to send mental health professionals that have volunteer hours they have to fill. So we're waiting to hear a response from them. They said that they'd see what they could do, just help us out. And so if we can get mental health professionals to help us out, and if we get donations, then we'll be able to expand the Zoom rooms to have breakout rooms and stuff like that to where we can put mental health professionals in rooms. So if people need to have more one-on-one time, they can. So
Yeah.
we're working on organizing it right now. It's just a support call with people talking to each other. That way somebody has somebody to talk to. No mental health advice whatsoever. It's just people talking because a lot of people don't have anybody and they just need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And, there's homeless people out there that don't have anybody to talk to. And so, this would give them, if they get to an internet cafe, a place to go. And once a month, it's something to look forward to.
Mhm.
A lot of times it's about networking, and people have problems because they haven't talked about those problems, the traumas that cause them to have those problems. And once you work through that, you just move forward and press on with your life.
Like
And
you were talking about. Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
we're letting people know when we open these calls, we're going to let people know as long as you don't state the names, dates, or locations, it's just a story, just like any story you pick up and read. And
Right.
so feel free to share. And it'll be on to them as to what they share. But, we'll open it up and Granny and I and whoever else from Leftovers or other podcasts that join us, we'll do intros and then we'll open up the floor for everybody that's joined that wants to speak and go from
Yeah.
there.
Awesome.
And no
Now,
judgment or, anything like that. Of course, I may ask a couple of questions, I don't know, like clarity on something that I don't understand, but that's like a no-brainer on that one. I love to find out and dig deeper. So, um, now
think
when you finished your three superpowers that we are not going to share because it is a secret, um, and you turned in your final book, how did you feel?
Um, Felt great. It felt great to just, it's like, oh, this is so cool. It's coming together. And I'm excited to read it. I'm excited
I
to,
know.
I'm ready to read it.
I know. Are
Uh,
you going to go to the MIC?
I'm planning to right now. Hopefully, I'll be able to. There's some things that have come up, but I'm still planning on it. Yeah.
You are so busy. I'm telling you, you are. It's like, okay, I need to send a pigeon to follow you and to give you messages and all
Yeah.
that because you are on the go.
Yeah. I definitely will be like in the New York City thing, right?
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, I definitely want to be a part of that with all of you guys. I think that's going to be a big moment for all of us. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I still need to get some clarification on the trip, and then I can make a final decision. But I so want to go
Yeah.
because it'll be I think it'll be kind of, unless things change and miracles can happen, um, you know, it might be like the one and only opportunity. So I'm pushing for it.
Yeah.
But have you thought about doing? I know you said you're working on a book. Have you thought about doing another collaboration?
With veterans or in general?
In general, because there's with Robert, with iNet, he's always looking for people to do like one page.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, has he talked to you about that?
Not yet. We haven't spoken about it, but I did see something of an opportunity for it. So,
Yeah, I actually did it. I turned mine in.
oh,
So
no.
I'm really excited. So if you have a chance, look it over. Text him
Hmm.
and ask questions. He'll definitely get you answered right away. But it's another opportunity and of networking
Hmm.
and getting your name out there and sharing new experiences. So I highly recommend it.
Nice. Yes, I
Yeah,
probably have to touch base with him on that.
definitely do. Tell him Lisa sent you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Now, I always ask this question. If you had to serve under the current administration, would you
Hmm.
go back into the military?
Oh, wow. Um, hmm.
There's no right or wrong answer, so don't worry about that.
Um, you know, so I'm a patriot and I'm for our freedom, our economic state, and uh, our being safe, right?
Hmm.
So, what I'm seeing right now globally uh, is not what I served for
Hmm.
at all. I served for, again, freedom. You see that flag behind you, right?
Yep.
Um, and I believe that,
You served for the Constitution.
yep, um, the Constitution was put in place for um, these specific times, I believe.
I do too.
Um, and, sadly, um, I mean, my answer would have to say no.
Okay.
And if I
There's,
did, if I
mhm,
did, um, I, I don't know. I'd
right,
probably, I'd probably, like taking care of things. I don't know. I just,
right. I mean, it's a question that I ask, and I'll tell you why. because a lot of veterans have had different experiences while they were in the military. And one of the things that I have found that all the veterans that I've spoken to have, even despite issues that they encountered, the PTSD, combat situations, they have enjoyed serving their country, being in the military.
Mm-hmm.
But with age, disabilities, and different things like that, and like you were saying, the country's ethics have changed. So they would say no. But then on the other hand, they would say yes if it meant keeping family members, grandkids, kids, adult kids from having to go and serve, then yes, they would go back in and serve so that they didn't have to experience that kind of stuff that they've already done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, like you said, it's a hard question to answer because it's that torn,
Mm-hmm.
because you have that heart to want to protect and serve our nation.
Mm-hmm.
But are you really going to be doing that? Are you going to be
Exactly.
going into a different era of, and
Mm-hmm.
what they're saying now is that they are contemplating on doing, oh, what do they call it? My brain just went back into time, where they call people to service. What is that word? Peggy, do you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Recall or stop loss. They do
Right.
it draft.
Huh? Draft. Yes,
Draft.
thank you. They're thinking about doing a draft, and then if that doesn't bring enough soldiers in, they're going to raise the age to 50 and do a draft that way.
When did this come out? I have to look into this.
Um, yeah, it's contemplating,
Uh,
and it's I just found out about it today
mm,
from a good resource, and they because our recruiting is really really low, and the
mm,
people that do try to come in are not qualified. So it's really desperate because our current administration has stretched us so thinly that if anything came really hard against us here in our area, we would not have the manpower to do a sufficient job.
mm,
So that's why they're saying we're going to do a draft.
mm,
And if they don't get enough people, then they're going to raise it to 50, the age 50.
mm,
And I don't know what kind of expectations, with medical and different things like that, are they going to allow people that are fat, hoping that they'll lose weight? And, or if you have a certain disability, we could set you behind the desk and you can work, pushing those papers that need to go along with the soldiers and, ammunitions and all that other stuff that we all know about.
mm,
So, I don't know the exact plan, but that has been mentioned as a safe fail, I guess what you call it.
mm.
And it's something that they are debating right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I did not know when I started asking the question, but now the question in my mind is becoming more significant in the answers I get.
Mm,
And because I know all the soldiers have that heart of a warrior and want to protect our country because that's what you did,
mm-hmm.
and Peggy did.
Granny,
So
we're
where,
5 minutes to an hour.
oh, okay, thank you, Peggy.
You're welcome.
So is there any last words that you would like to share with the audience
Mm,
that you feel on your heart? It doesn't
mm,
have to be on anything specific, just something that you want to share from you. As a female veteran, has a successful business owner, starting
mm,
from the ground up, to a now published author.
Mhm.
What do you have to say or share?
Um, I've been all over the world and I've seen many things, and I still believe we're in an amazing country. And I believe that our freedoms, we're very lucky, right? We're very, very lucky to have them.
Yes,
And, you know, um, if you're thinking about joining any military service, choose the Air Force. I had to say it. I had to say it.
you have to say it. You like you said, you earned the right to
Uh,
say it. So I
yeah,
have no problem with that.
yeah. You
Yeah,
know, like don't be afraid to go for your dreams. We live in an amazing country. The red, white, and blue will always be alive. Uh, as long as we stick together, come from a place of empathy for humanity, which is
yeah,
the key here, is the key.
absolutely.
And, you know, there's someone bigger than us. There's
Yes,
a whole bigger, more powerful entity bigger than us. And, fear is not from that big entity,
no,
right?
no,
So
no.
just go for your dreams, serve your country, serve your country. You'll get discipline and a different sense of viewing the world, you know, um, and be in love with life. Figure out how to be in love with life. Get
I
it
agree.
like be. There's so much things to be grateful for. So, yeah.
Yeah, the creator, he wrote, she's choosing favorite, laugh out loud, choose the Air Force. And then he wrote, you're funny. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. You know what? I am so glad that we got the opportunity to finally hook up and have you on my show. I so appreciate it. And I love the fact that you are um, giving out positivity in your work, in building positivity in others. And I hope and pray that that is a continuous success for you. And if ever you need to have a need to come back and share something more, all you got to do is let me know. And Peggy, she, like I said, she does Vets Coming Clean, and we're the vets. Um, and it's basically on what have you seen, what's going on, that kind of a show of sharing. Like if you want to come back and talk about your neuroscience applying to growth and change in a person's life, that's the kind of stuff that we talk about. So
Yeah, I
definitely
would
keep
love
us in
to.
mind.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would love
great.
to.
Peggy, did
Anytime.
you hear that? She
Yeah.
say, I love to.
Yes, ma'am. I will send you the link to submit everything. That way we can have everything put on the website and set up a date if you're interested.
Awesome.
Awesome. Great. Okay. Let's see. We got 1 minute, less than a minute. I'm going to talk a little bit about one thing, and that is veteran suicide. Okay. Remember, don't do it. There is so many opportunities for any veteran to get help. I know the VA is kind of wonky in some areas and it seems like it's impossible to get help, but you can. So just hang in there. Don't let any kind of um, person stop you from getting help. Okay, you're a warrior. You know that you have to fight. You have to fight for yourself. You are worth it. And if you don't think you're worth it, you better call me. You better come and get in touch with me, because I'll tell you how much you're worth, because I love you. I'm Granny. You're one of my kids. You know where my heart lies, and that is with my veterans. So if you're having issues and you need help, I'm here. Okay? So don't do it. Now, the next thing I want to do is share with you on liking and sharing. We both have YouTube. My YouTube is Vets Chatting with Granny Lisa. And then we have Vets Coming Clean. So go on YouTube, subscribe, and like. That helps us build and lets us know that we're doing a good job, at least for me. And, the numbers, you know how it all works. And also, please, if there is a subject that you want me to talk about, or find somebody to talk about this subject, get in touch with me. Okay, you can reach me at our website. It's called vetscomingclean.com. It's real easy, vetscomingclean.com. And Yesenia, how do they get in touch with you? Do you have a website?
Yespreneur website is in construction.
Okay.
So social media is the best way. Either
Okay, great.
Facebook, Instagram, basically is just type my name. You'll find me there.
Okay.
And Facebook is the best way to reach me right now.
Okay, awesome. I know how to do those too. So,
Yeah.
all right, gang. Peggy, take us away.
It's been an honor working with the Villagers for Veterans and honoring my brothers and sisters who served, because freedom is not free, and what they have sacrificed in lives and limbs and bodies is unbelievable.
Villagers for Veterans helped me get Liberty, who helped me with post-traumatic stress and some mobility issues. When we go out, sometimes I get panicky around large crowds, so she comforts me.
Villagers for Veterans is doing something that most people have not even thought of, is to accommodate our women veterans who are homeless. They decided to help the situation by creating a house called Ashley's House. It was named after Ashley White, who was killed in Afghanistan in 2011.
We look forward to continuing to serve our veterans for many years to come. And of course, Villagers for Veterans cannot do this without your support. For more information, please visit our website, villagersforveterans.org.